You have the best wideout the Eagles have had since Terrell Owens. You now have the best tandem of wide receivers you have ever had in the history of your franchise. Maybe Carmichael and Quick. Maybe. We're going to get a fan's perspective on all this too. Okay? And you. Yesterday I did 3 hours. First hour I did without even a break. I didn't realize it because there was so much. Remember what I said to you. Jordan Davis would be taken at number 15. And if you felt compelled between 11 and 14 to go get him, trade up and go get him. It's exactly what they did. Remember the 5 things I said that the Eagles should do? If one of the guys that you were in love with were there between 11 and 14 and you wanted to trade up and you wanted to stay in that box, go get him. Big Sills also told you that the 18th pick would be in play. We find out now it was. A.J. Brown is now a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to get to all this. By the way, my first round, I hit on 68%. I hit on 68% of the picks. And we were kind of right there. And as a matter of fact, almost to the man, my first mock draft actually was the one that actually was more accurate. Let's get to the Eagles pick. And let's get to the Eagles offseason. Here's Howie Roseman's offseason. Hassan Reddick, 3 years, $45 million. Restructuring of Fletcher Cox from 18 to 14. Adding depth with Zach Pascal now. He's depth. $1.5 million. They made the trade with the Saints. Then they add Jordan Davis. Then they add A.J. Brown, 4 years, $100 million. 57 of it is guaranteed. In a nutshell, that's a spectacular offseason. And now, for all you Jalen Hurts lovers, Jalen Hurts is given a chance. Jalen is given a true chance. And by the way, can I show you something that's even hidden in this whole offensive huddle? Is there a guy over 27 in that offensive huddle as a skilled player? These guys are all in their mid-20s. Almost every single one of these guys. Now you have A.J. Brown. And remember what I said to you about 2 months ago about A.J. Brown when his name popped up. He fits this offense perfect. He's a beast in the run game. He fits. This is a glove fit for an organization. You know, as impressed as I am with Jordan Davis, this move to get A.J. Brown changes your entire offensive look and how you're going to be perceived. Okay? My opinion, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are now the favorites to win the NFC East. If you just have Jalen perform the way he did in 2021, they'll win 11 games with this roster. Combine that with an offensive line now that's the number one run attack in the league. Tell you what, I'm not going to go exceptionally over the top here, but I am going to go over the top here. What they have done, and Howie having the patience here to do what he did, And by the way, did I not tell you all these guys would fall? And you're going to see a boatload of good football players taken tonight and also on Saturday. There are a lot of good. I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots are doing. I have no idea what they're doing in the draft. I don't know what's happened. So the Dallas Cowboys offseason has been what? Drafting a guard from Tulsa? And the Eagles have added this. Plus, you know what? I can't, Barrett Brooks was asking me today, did they draft Cortez Kennedy? I go, he's bigger. Cortez was 6'2", 300 pounds. This guy's 6'6", 350. Combined with Fletcher Cox, I don't know if I've ever seen a defensive tackle duo that big, that large, that imposing. Let's hypothetically say he turns into Vince Wilfork, like we said yesterday. So you have the number one rush defense in the NFL with the number one rush offense in the NFL. You're going to be in every freaking game for the next 5 years. Every year you'll be in the conversation again. You're building your football team here like you did during the Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb start. I got to tell you, man, it's incredible. Ernest says, Howie, I typically bash your ass, but I have to give credit when credit is due. I applaud the 2022 offseason moves you have made. Ernest, you're right. D-Train, I think Reddick will have 20 sacks this year. Hey, picking Albert Haynesworth. Okay, that's who he kind of looks like, Albert Haynesworth. The Jordan Davis pick. Hey, and by the way, I got to tell you, the more I think about the Trayvon Walker deal at the top of the draft, I went like this. So he didn't make all SEC? And you drafted a guy number one overall and he didn't even make all conference? And you drafted him off the combines? I don't know, man. There were some really interesting moves. But I did pick Walker would go with the Jaguars, but I started thinking more about it. He didn't even make all conference. I get in that conference, making all conference is probably harder to make than All-American. I get it. But I was like, you didn't make all SEC. Okay. GT says, Hurts throws for 3,800 yards. I'm going to get to the impact here and all this here in a minute. How many people like the Jordan Davis sign and draft? I loved it. It's who I predicted. He brings an intangible to a football team. He also brings a winning mindset. He's at Georgia. He comes off winning a national championship. He's a freak when it comes to his athleticism. I think, quite frankly, I think he's still getting better. I don't think we've seen the best of Jordan Davis yet. You need a Jordan Davis in Japan with you. Thank you very much, Vape. Like Big Van Vader. He's as big as Vader, that's for sure. What would you give Howie Roseman's first day of the NFL draft? What grade? Frank says, great night for Philly sports. Frank, that was awesome. I couldn't believe what I was hearing when they went and got A.J. Brown. I couldn't. A+. Hey, FSG, I think he was listening. I think they've been listening. A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel. By the way, there's conversations out there that the Eagles made a push for Deebo Samuel, but the Niners didn't want to do it. A+, B. A+, solid A. I think so too. I think it's a solid A. I think they really, I think they really knocked the cover off everything they did last night. And by the way, what if they add Honey Badger? What if they add Honey Badger to the mix? You know what I'm saying? You add Honey Badger to that, put him back there. I mean, You're talking about a spectacular, it's already a spectacular offseason. Man, where to go? The impact that A.J. Brown now has on the offense. Here's the storyline. The Titans didn't think he was a $20 million a year guy. They never looked at him as a top 10 wideout. Okay? I do. I think he's a top 10 guy because he's playing with a top 20 quarterback. DJ, thank you. Okay? I think that he's doing the things he's doing with a top 20 quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. If he has a guy who can get him the ball more, in my opinion, if he plays with Joe Burrow, A.J. Brown's a 14, 1,500, 1,600 pass-catching wide receiver. His skill set's spectacular. And also, too, he's not afraid to get into the run game. The things that he is going to create for Devontae Smith. Now, the question will be again, the pressure has now ramped up on Jalen Hurts. Do we not agree? The pressure is now on Jalen. Jalen Hurts is in the same situation as Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. Dude, there's no excuses now not to go out and throw for 4,300 yards. Hey, I'm going to do that here in a second. 3,800 yards for a $100 million investment? Sorry, that's not good enough. I don't want a quarterback on my football team that can't get me 4,000 yards. That's not what we're doing here. You're going to pay $100 million, $20 million a year for a quarterback that throws the ball 213 yards a game? I don't think so. That's not why they're bringing A.J. Brown in, so that he can have a 50-yard uptick. That dude's got to up his game now, and he is on the clock. Xander goes, he gets 4,000 yards this year. He gets a contract. He doesn't? They'll move on. This is about Jalen Hurts here, too. Howie went like this. Jalen, your audition, last year's audition got you another audition. Kirk Cousins auditioned 3 years in a row in Washington. They franchise tagged him like 3 times. He had 3 auditions. And then Washington decided to pass on him. You go back and look at that move. Washington regrets that move because they haven't had a quarterback in the building since Kirk Cousins. That was a poor decision. Kirk goes, okay, well then guess what? I'll take my talent somewhere else. And he did. 4,000 passing yard seasons in 10 years. Not on him that the Vikings have shit the bed. You have a number 1 wide receiver in your building. You have the best wideout the Eagles have had since Terrell Owens. You now have the best tandem of wide receivers you have ever had in the history of your franchise. Maybe Carmichael and Quick. Maybe. This is your best dual threat tandem you have had. And you had Dallas Goedert. Miles Sanders is good enough. And a spectacular O-line. Okay? It's the best tandem the Philadelphia Eagles have had, I'm going to say it, in franchise history. Will you be able to get the ball to them, Jalen Hurts? Here's my expectations were not 4,000 passing yards for Jalen Hurts until last night. He's got to throw for 4,200 yards, 25 touchdowns. You can come up with any rushing stat you want because I don't care. He's got to go 4,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, and keep it around 10 picks. You do that, you'll be the future of the team. You don't do that, they will move on. You're in a rookie contract. Right now, you're playing for a second contract in Philly, which means this. You're playing for your future. Jalen Hurts is built for this. Jalen Hurts has an opportunity now that I didn't think was very fair one day ago. Now, Jalen Hurts has a chance. He has a chance. You can, and know this, guys. Know this, guys. Deshaun Jackson was a one-trick pony. Wasn't a route runner. Jalen Hurts has to succeed here. And you can never say this about the Eagles. They never gave him a chance. If Jalen fails, it's production. We'll all go like this. We love the kid. He's not good enough. Hey, by the way, kudos to Jalen too, man. I think he helped facilitate this. I think he helped recruit him. Remember I said to you the other day, you're working out with A.J. Brown. How are you not telling him that maybe they even knew then? Maybe the two of them knew. Maybe they were sending out subliminal messages here and telling us, hey, this deal could get done here. Hey, Dan, question for you. Jalen is a stud next year, but the following year he takes a step back. What do you think happens? I think, Randy, what they're going to do, the Eagles front office, I don't think they're going to jump the gun like they did on Wentz. I think the Wentz lesson taught them, let's let this play out. Let's let this play out like they did in Buffalo, like they did in other places. By the way, I'll tell you somebody else who really picked up a really good-looking offense. Look what they're doing in Arizona now. Hollywood Brown gets added to that mix out there with all those guys. Kyler Murray has no excuses. Kyler Murray, man, they loaded up the offensive. That's a good-looking offense in Arizona now. That kid's ass is on the line. Tua Tagovailoa's ass is on the line. Make or break year for Hurts. Absolutely. Big Chris. Chuck says, Big Sills, I agree. Had a play in this play. If Birds had more picks, they'd pick up a running back on Saturday. I see Young. Let's not get crazy. Oh, you mean Bryce Young. Okay. You mean Bryce Young. The Jets, I don't think the Giants did a very good job. I think they took the lesser tackle. I have no idea what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. What was that? You take a guard from Tulsa who people had in the second round? I don't know. I don't get it, man. Jesse says need to trade Dillard and Minshew for more firepower. Dude, pick, and I said they would take Drake. Uncle Sills, do you think Dallas reached? I totally do. I don't get the pick. Look at all the people that the Cowboy, Howie must be looking at this going, Howie Roseman, 2 days ago, I didn't think very highly of his offseason. Now you add these two components, and maybe if you even get Honey Badger, could be the best offseason. And let's see what he does tonight and Saturday. Still has to finish. Remember something. Let's finish it. Let's finish it. Let's finish it. Okay? Let's finish it. Hey, Dion, you prayed that Dallas picked bad? Well, you got your prayer answered. I don't get it. Cowboys offseason has been a train wreck. I don't get the Patriots pick. That kid that they took, that offensive lineman, people had him like the 70th rated player that was on the board for guards. I was like, wow. Okay. Maybe, hey, they do a decent job in drafting. What impact do you think, let's do this. What impact do you think that A.J. Brown has on Jalen? As I said, here's my new numbers: 4,200 passing yards, 25 touchdowns. If that happens, Jalen Hurts is your quarterback for the next 10 years. And by the way, I'll admit I'm wrong, because then he would be in the conversation of Dak Prescott. Okay? He'd be in a conversation of being like Dak, which means this. And means what? Well, you got to pay the guy $45 million. Okay? That's a good question. 19, you think both these receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, can have 1,000 yards? Again, guys, this is coming. This is not about the wideouts now. This is about Jalen Hurts. Can Jalen get them the ball? I agree, team. I think this is the end of Jalen Reagor. There's no way Jalen Reagor will be on that football team, because now Howie, with this move for A.J. Brown, you won't think twice of him cutting him because they brought in a Pro Bowl wide receiver, right? Howie looks good now, so he can cut that guy. He's got a replacement. This is a better move, a better player. You can jettison that guy now. And watch this. If there's a wide receiver taken in rounds 2 or 3, Jalen Reagor may not even get out of minicamp. He may not even get out of minicamp. So you think, Jesse, if the Eagles have 1,000 yards with 3 guys, you'll be in the NFC Championship game. $215, smart trade by the Titans. Get this, too. $215, here's my only concern. Mike Vrabel and them didn't think that A.J. Brown was a $20 million a year guy, so they went and got Burks on a rookie contract. That's what they're thinking. And again, it's kind of smart thinking. You know why? That football team's not built in the air. That's not a team. Let's not forget something. The Titans were the number 1 seeded team in the AFC going into the playoffs. And they had missed Derrick Henry for 9 weeks. That football team's not built around wide receivers in a passing game. That team is built around running the football. Bob Brown says, Sills, you said Hurts would improve by this much. With A.J. Brown, it should this much. Correct, Bob. More expectations. Absolutely. Okay? Hey, guys, do me a favor, please. Hit the like button. Thank you very much. You guys have been awesome. Hit the like button. I love talking to you guys after a night last night. God, you have to be so excited. Spectacular movement. And you know what I got to say where I'm wrong? Howie's been patient this offseason. He's been patient. I'm not patient. Maybe that's the issue. He's been so patient. He knew that the other players in the NFC East were walking backwards because of bad contracts. Look at where the Giants are. The Giants drafted the wrong lineman. Okay? I mean, I get the Thibodeau thing. We're going to look at the draft too. The Cowboys are awful. Awful. Savvy B, I think Hurts and Brown will do work this year. You can move mountains when your boys get involved and he's working to make himself the guy already. If he doesn't pan out, it's a damn shame. Savvy, This is on this kid, man. It really is. I did see Jason Kelsey's reaction. Dude, Jesse, if they're able to land Tyrann Mathieu too. Corey says, Sileo, can we officially say how we gambled this offseason? Yes. I'm wrong. Yes. Yes. $100 million gamble? Yes. Yes. Completely. I know everybody in the Eagle office right now going, am I hearing this right? Hello, guys. First thing this morning, Dan Sileo gets a text from Public Relations Department of the Philadelphia Eagles. How do you like us now? Okay. You still going to talk shit? I was like, oh, now you're swearing at me. Okay. That's a good point. Sills, who do you want the Eagles to draft tonight? I'd like to, with that 51st pick, I would like them to get Drake Jackson, linebacker, USC. I'd like to have him. Uncle Sills, Howie was offended by you and listened. Okay? I'd like to get Drake Jackson. That kid from Southern Cal, that linebacker, he reminds me a little bit of Micah Parsons. I'd be okay with that in there at that pick. Okay?